Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back again with 607 Unk, not the punk. And we are back. We are here with Chief Yandaya. And Unk has just came back from the dead once again. Chief Yandaya, had to come back and help him to let go of some more attachments. And we're trying to figure out, how do you feel now? I mean, you're back from the dead once again.
Well, it's gonna strange to come back from the dead and still be dead. Bro, but like everything on the earth is dead. Because if I was alive, wouldn't I be free? Wouldn't that really be me? Would I be stuck in a prison? Would I have to change bodies all these many times? Over and over again? If I was living free? Oh no.
Change bodies.
How am I free?
Are you free?
You tell me.
Why don't you feel like you're free?
Yeah. And listen, we ain't had free since the pyramid was up. Then we got free electricity and shit. Now we can't even get free electricity. Stop playing with me. Everything costs. It costs to live. But I don't see them charging the birds to live. The birds ain't paying nothing to live. Stop playing with me. When last time they charged the bird? When last time they charged the ant? When last time they charged the worm? Don't they eat? Don't they live? Ain't they on this earth too?
Yeah.
So what they charging me for? So you talking about I'm back from the dead? No, I'm still dead. I'm walking dead. Like everybody else.
So what do you think, when you talk about the past, you say that
Ain't no past.
Okay.
Like the moment to moment. Every decision you make open a new door for a new moment, a new reality. We live in multi-reality universe with multi, what's that word? What is like multi?
Dimensions?
No, it isn't multi-dimension, but it's another word. It looks like multi-possibilities.
Multiple possibilities.
Yeah. Life is full of possibilities. Everything has a lot of possibilities, and everybody trying to get them one. That's why school is wrong. You go to school and they tell you something that you only got three choices, but how the fuck are the three choices when it's really a million? Yeah, a lot of people don't know. It's more than one way to skin a cat. And you don't even need a cat.
So when you say that the past it doesn't exist, so you would say you're not the same person.
How do you make the past don't exist? Life is moment to moment. Is no such thing as the past. Time is linear, right?
So what about who you were when you were 5? You're
What do you mean? What do you mean? What I was when I was 5? It's been the same person, the same thing as the dream. I'm a projection. I'm a projection from the moon and the sun. This is a 3D reality game. Bruh, I'm not real. Said I was real? I'm not a real boy. I'm not a real boy.
like Pinocchio? Or what is it called?
You think I'm lying?
No.
What's so funny? I'm
don't-
not a real boy. You think I'm a real boy? My skin not real. My skin is made of molecules and shit. Like,
I guess that's what matters, right?
Yeah, matter. Ain't no matter. The only thing that matter is they told me that it was a matter and they lied. But that would matter. Yeah, family don't matter. Yeah.
Family doesn't matter?
Yeah, I don't know about Steve Urkel and shit. Those shit matter.
Wow. So, if time doesn't exist and the past doesn't exist and trauma doesn't exist and things like that.
Trauma is it.
So trauma does exist.
Yeah, trauma is attack.
But doesn't trauma come from the past?
No.
If past
Listen, I'm gonna tell you about past doesn't exist. Remember I told you about the past is just for lessons. Mm-hmm. Trauma is just for lessons as well. People hold on to those. So see, trauma come from you. Everything come from you. Everything is internal. I keep telling you, I don't think you listen to this.
So, if you...
Why you get a light on me for? We got two people here.
Well, I'm trying to get to her. I'm eventually going to get to her. So, if all these things don't exist, why did you have to ask Chief to come back again? Why do you have to ask?
I didn't have to come back. Listen, I don't think you understand.
Well, why did you want
to come back? Sometimes I'm not.
Okay.
Right? I want her to come back. Right? But she keep coming back. Right?
Okay.
Back before.
No.
I don't know why I smoked it, but I kept on smoking it. Yeah, even when I only had $5 left, I was thinking on crack. So I don't know why she keep coming back. But it make you feel good. Sort of like sex, but better.
I was talking about that with you.
I said something like sex, but better. You know how I feel?
Yeah.
The ejaculation and shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, see, you got me tripped. We got to get back in the spirit. It's the real spirit party. You cannot get in here. Moses off the joint and Jesus off the gin. I swear God. Yeah, cut that part out. not that part. What I said before.
Okay, we're gonna try to cut it out. So, Chief, why do you think that he feels like he needs to? Why would you think a person would need to continue to get like your services when it comes down to the sound therapy? What exactly does it do that you would need on a regular basis?
Frequency. What's the help of?
That's what she did. That's what she's doing.
Frequency.
Sound frequency.
It's frequency.
So are you tuning the proverbial fork of the body, is the body like a frequency, like a tuning fork, and you're just like and you just need to tune up every once in a while, or what exactly?
Well, I know, Carl. What are you talking about, gang?
Or is it just that you need to remove those things, you need to think about certain things and remove, and then because once you get to done removing, then you start to build up things and apply things.
You put stuff in me?
You put stuff in yourself, right? When you begin to want to manifest certain things, or then you once you get rid of all attachments and all trauma.
Well, it was different this time because last time my forehead just burned, right? I didn't feel the stones here. I felt the weight of them, but this time it burned, and I had shit real bad. I don't know what that means. But it was burning right here, and that's why I had this shit. Right? And I almost said it right there, but I don't know if you've been having it. That's when you got rid of that smell. She really a little bit more. I don't know. Because
you said it bubble.
I don't know. Yeah, for real. My stomach was boiling. I had the bubble guts.
Yeah.
Wow.
The BGs.
What the fuck? Yeah. What's the point, man?
Yeah. You will with energy around.
Yeah.
You see energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's gone.
One way,
That's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how I felt. But it's not crazy because they say, well, I know because I died 5 times. When you die, you had your last shit.
Yeah.
That was something like my last shit. Oh.
But listen, here's the
thing. I died for real.
Yeah. But a lot of healing modalities.
Oh, why you kill me?
Chief, a lot of healing modalities. They do have some level of some people when they take ayahuasca, they might throw up or whatever. They might go out to the bathroom. But is it a part of the cleansing aspect of what you're doing as a shaman that when you even with the sound, you have to do a level of cleansing in order to let the positivity, whatever the vibrate, whatever to go or whatever? It's sometimes a body cleanse as well as a mental cleanse.
Yeah, frequency takes you into home subconscious mind. So it's a different spirits for everybody. So for him today, that will, he saw his chakras to light up.
Light up. It was gonna fight. Yeah, it was gonna fight it. It's light up. It was getting fried. My chakras was getting fried. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Getting fried.
Getting fried. So, well. But it was weird because, normally when I'm there, last time I was there, I told you I saw the dark shit, right? This time, I saw light so bright that it was ridiculous. It was like the brightest light I've ever seen, but my eyes was closed. That's what I remember. I remember seeing a bright light.
Seeing.
Yeah, I saw bright. No, they can't see. But this time I saw a bright light. And my eyes were closed. And I saw light was so bright, I opened my eyes just to see what I was seeing. And for about maybe 3 seconds, I was blind.
Wow.
I couldn't see.
Even when this happened to me, I would see lights. It comes to a certain point where you actually get to see colors and stuff. It's crazy.
It was like white. It was white. It didn't have no... It was like a TV screen. You ever saw a TV screen Like back in the days,
Mhm.
they used to play with the fuzz on it. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it looked like that. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Like a fuzzy TV, but not like you watching from afar. Like I was
In it. Yeah.
like I was in it. So I don't know what that is, but that's how I felt like I was in it. And then for that moment, I was like, damn, I'm not scared.
We're in a simulation.
But it kind of like, it was fun. I never seen that before.
Yeah.
I probably would have saw more if I'd opened my eyes. I don't know.
You probably would have, yeah. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, I mean, so there's these tools that you use, right? You have the feather when you cleanse the person off, but then there's other tools that you're using. So I wanted to talk about some of the things that you use as a shaman, some of those tools. You know, you went all the way up to these high mountains to get some of these tools.
Yeah, so I almost died. Listen, I want to see these two.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's talk about some of the things that you use in the shaman. Some of your
Okay, I used to do 7 songs.
7 stones. Okay.
And
They can't see them, by the way, because
They can see 'em.
oh, they can see them. Oh, okay.
They'll be able to do it.
All right, 7 stones.
I put it in this cloth.
So where'd you get that cloth? Oh, okay. You bought
Where's
that
that call from?
because I want one.
Don't say too much.
So I wrap them with stone here and wrap around. Wait there. And the stone is 7 stones representing the 7 chakras. So the back 2 stones is absorb the needle.
Okay. The back stones absorb negative energy, and with the front, the top.
I had it on my back.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, well, yeah. They be all around your whole center area.
It was up there. So then I give you a stone in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be burning. It'll burn.
You know, it's different for everybody.
It's different for everybody.
Nobody ever seen
But your hand make you hold it.
Yeah.
Like your hand make you hold them tighter.
Yeah, you do have to hold. Yeah.
You know, your hand, you try to let go, you can't let go.
Yeah.
Like it's like I swear, it's like everything activate when the last one go on your forehead. Well, that's put one on your forehead. That's where everything activates. That's where your whole body just go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then I have a stone I put on the 3rd eye, the heart.
The 3rd eye.
Wait, can we see the beautiful heart? The heart stone.
The 3rd eye. That's why I'm fine at. I mean, a lot of people call me ugly, but I'm fine when you look at me at the 3rd eye.
Will you look at your 3rd?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
that's well.
right now, I'm using.
Wow.
Look at how beautiful that stone is that she put on your heart. That's beautiful.
She ain't let me go.
Look, she ain't letting that stone
She
go.
would not let it go. She would not let it go. Why not let it go?
Like, show it though. Show it. Show
No,
it.
she won't let it go though.
Why a beautiful stone?
Why she ain't let it go? Wow. Wow. I gotta get that fox.
Right.
You want? I'll give you 30,000 for that fox.
No.
30K. What's that box full of rocks?
So
There's a box full of rocks. I'll give you 30K.
here, and the
Solar plexus.
and then I have a stone between your feet,
Okay.
and they go negative in.
The energy goes in there. And what kind of stone is that? Are these different kinds of stones? Did you pick them or did someone give it to you?
From the mountain.
From the mountains of Peru. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And so like the shaman just kind of knows.
I'm gonna let about to talk now.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because you talk about all that, so they have to pay for that. Right? She just told them exactly what everything do and how to get it done. And they ain't paid. You know, it's what $800 for this in other places. They just gave it for free. What's about me? I'm just keeping it real, right? I don't know. I don't know, but that's a deal. But I thought we was gonna talk about the secrets, right? Because like, you know, I'm the master down.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people And a lot of people run around they couldn't die.
Well, there's a lot of death going on.
I'm
There's a lot of people like getting killed by police.
Listen, I'm the angel. Listen, gang. I'm the angel of death. Listen, the angel of death. Right here. Angel of death. But come on. A lot of people don't know. And I had this before I knew. So come on. I come to show people how to die. Like, a lot of people don't understand that death is a trick. It was a video. It was a video. I was like, no, death is not real. It is fake. A sunlight sound.
You know, I heard that even in places like Haiti, they know how to make your soul like go from one body to another.
Listen.
And literally, like you have a pre-death, like a near-death experience, but you are not the same person.
Listen.
It's like a soul swapping, like a spirit swapping.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you before I tell you about death. Right nowadays, I'm gonna tell everybody how the previous was built. A lot of people say, okay, the previous built by me and Carrie and stuff. A lot of people say they was built by, telekinesis. A lot of people say they was built by giant aliens, right?
Anunnaki.
I'm ready to tell you that they was kind of like built by, I don't know what I'm saying. They were built by early humans, right? But the early humans were smarter than these humans because the world kind of go on reset. So the world goes so far up that it go boom, go back to the beginning. So
like a video game.
Yeah, like a video game. So what I'm trying to say is that they had these things, right? And you got to pay attention to this. Because I saw this in the fish. So for those that know, they know, right? They had, a lot of times you see these pictures of people back then, and they look like animals, right? They have these animals, their heads like animals, but them weren't animals' head. Them were things they put on their plane. And what happened was like a hat, right? So they'll take these things they put on their head. There'll be things inside that connect to each part of your brain. So like when you go on surgery or something, right? And then the point that came out, that point used to have the water that come up through it to get the steam to go into the water. And through the water, through the stream, it'll manifest in reality the pyramids will come up out of the house. It was manifested through the brain, through the steam, through the water, and then pop up. Through the ground.
Through the ground, through the water. They would.
Yeah. That's why all the pyramids check all the pyramids, they got water running all through them. They all lead to a lake or a river. Every last one. Check.
I thought they had like those spiral things, like some kind of spiral.
They all got water in them. Check.
But you're saying that they had these helmets on.
Yeah, they were helmets. Them were not birds. Them was humans with helmets on their head.
That were shaped like a certain animal.
Yeah, they were shaped like that. Because out of the front like holes. And out of these holes came the steam, became your thoughts. So you capture your thoughts.
Okay.
They push out their thoughts through steam. And through the steam, through water. And through the water, the manifestation.
So, okay. Wow.
That's how every pyramid is built. A lot of people don't know this.
Through water manifestation.
Yeah. Through the mind, though. But these were techniques that the Anunnakis taught to the first early humans. Right? Yeah, teaching them this. They're doing it.
But I would think some sound would have to be involved, because if you actually understand cymatics, you understand that sound and actually water.
Understand this, right? The sounds were what she was doing, right? You always heard they had bells. I don't think you pay attention to everything I say, right? See, back then they had bells that went off, right? They went off all the time. See, these bells woke people off the matrix, right? So I'm telling you, certain sounds, right? Again, with certain thoughts, right? A bit anything. But they knew how to make it pop off the ground. So like, I will take a plant a seed and to grow up. I don't really normally take it. Because no such thing as time. It take about
a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it can happen like this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you how I know, right? Get somebody, a lot of people might think I'm crazy. Get somebody that's been knocked out, been in the hospital knocked out for months at a time. And they wake up, they're gonna say, man, it's like I've been asleep yesterday. That's how fast it happens. Right? So I'm just telling you that a lot of people don't know. Right? They was built through the mind. Right? But back then, they had certain things to help them. Right?
Sound.
Yeah. That's what
And did you hear about the Jesuit priest that actually broke all the bells? Were you aware that all the bells at some point, like there was different bells that were throughout?
They got to be visited. They got to be broken because the sound simply will wake you up. Right? Listen, I know this. A person who listens to these bells is just start remembering stuff next door if they're hearing wrong enough. Right? The sound itself is a higher frequency because your thoughts are not your own. The thought don't belong to you. It belongs to the fucking bells.
If you actually know.
Yeah, the thought belongs to the bell. That's the frequency of the thought. I guess the high vibration. I don't know if I'm telling the truth, but I'm just saying that that's what's telling me to say it. Because it gotta be. Because I never heard a voice. I never heard a voice because I don't think we have words. I think that everybody sound like this.
Yeah.
And I think that we perceive those
Trust me.
as words.
I've woken up in the middle of the night and heard that. Like if you try to like listen to a meditation thing and you like wake up halfway,
I tell you this.
it'll sound like a bunch of
I went to the church the other day, Pastor Eli Church, and he was preaching. He was preaching in a certain voice, and the voice was like deep voice, right? Like crazy voice. And I said, damn, that voice sound crazy, sound familiar. That voice sound familiar, and it was familiar. I heard it many times before. But it wasn't his voice. Because prior to that, he never sounded like that. Just watch him here, then go to his church, he's going to sound something good. I don't know Pastor Eli, I know I'm doing this good stuff with.
Right.
But you can see when they get possessed. But they say they're not possessed.
They're not possessed, but
everyone's possessed. Because our thoughts are not our own. So everybody on earth, everybody watching this is possessed. It depends on who you possessed by. What it's. Because everybody's possessed.
like a video game character.
Everybody's possessed. Listen, you can't think unless you're possessed. Your thoughts don't come from you. So you gotta be possessed to do anything.
That's what she was saying on the way here. She said, we all thinking that we thinking these thoughts. There's no original thought on this earth. Ain't that what you said, that there's no original thought on this earth? No one thinks an original thought.
There's no original thoughts.
There's nothing new underneath the sun.
No, everything's reincarnated and all the thoughts are the same. Nothing new can come in front of it except when I bring it, because I bring it from the true monad. So new information comes from, I don't know if I say it comes from old souls that have traveled on and chose to come back. Right? That's the only time new information comes in this. But you know, the alpha and the omega, that time's over with in a year. I thought, what's the alpha omega? But that rule is over with.
The beginning and the end.
Because that rule's over with. It's over.
You mean the Christian rule?
Yeah, the alpha and omega rule's over with. Let me tell you what I mean, right?
The rule.
Yeah, the rule. Everything in that era is done. They have a certain time period, a certain time they can do it. That's why a lot of people waking up right now. Right? Because we're switching. It's a 3D, a 4D, and a 5D dimension and planet we live in now. A lot of people live in 3D. 3D if you believe in your five senses, right? If you believe in your five senses, you're in 3D reality, and it is what it is, right? But I'm just going to tell you what I mean. You can't tell a stupid person that this is an atom in 3D reality. They're going to tell you this solid. And for him, that's the reality.
Right.
That's the absolute truth. You can't make it a lie because it's the truth. But let me tell you what I mean. Remember I told you it's like the different layers, right? But then to the other person who's in the 4D reality, right? He knows that this is an atom, but he can't control it. They call them people crazy.
Right.
They know the information, but the people that in the 5D reality, such as myself, such as her, we not only store the information, but we can control it and also teach it. Not control it as for like control it, but track it. We know it. We can see it. We can understand it. And a lot of people walking on earth, they don't.
And manipulate it.
Yeah. But manipulation is how you want to look at it. Sometimes manipulation can be bad, sometimes it can be cool, but everything must balance. Let me say what I mean. Without Jeff, would you know what life was? Right. Without Rich, you wouldn't know what poor was. Right? So sometimes I believe the chosen few, under your discretion, you can choose whether you think that the tables need to be bent a little bit. Right? I was like, sometimes it need to be bent a little bit. Right? But that's all, I think it's on a personal soul to determine. They're not determined by no God. There's no God up there, waiting for you to make a move, but just know every move that you make, karma gonna come back for you.
Why do you think that the internet is showing so much death? Why do you think that right now in the media, all you're seeing is people getting shot down by police? You know, you have the Roy Hinton, I think, Jr. He just ran over a police officer that killed his son.
Police always kill people.
Right, but for some reason right now it's a big deal.
Ain't never been no big deal. Listen.
So is that a psychological operation? Like, why do you think that?
I don't think you understand.
Right now,
listen, I'm gonna break this down to you, but to break that down, I gotta go back.
Okay.
So please understand, I have to go back to break that down. So the war that everybody think is racial is a spiritual war. A lot of people don't know. And it started over Cain and Abel. A lot of people know this, right? See, Cain and Abel, they wasn't brothers. They was two different species. Right? When God said, let us make men in our image, there was a whole lot of different spiritual beings that look differently. So when that war started, it started because certain things that was put into people that wasn't supposed to be in them. Sort of like the melon. right? The melon alone caused the conflict between the gods. So when you look at the conflict of the humans, the actual gods, they couldn't intervene, so they chose the human to do their dirty work.
Right.
So God chose you for his dirty work. So how can God be good? I don't know.
How can God be good?
Yeah, how can it be good? But I'm telling you, God did you know of cannot be called God. It's kind of like disrespect, right? Because he create gods. So if a person can create gods, can they even be a person or a god?
As we talk about these guys, you have on top of the more hidden situation, he runs over the police. You're saying that all these things are really about Cain and Abel?
Run over another police. Listen, they killed my friend. I'm from St. Louis. Run over. Run over. Listen. Police should die. Right? I'm not saying that it's good to kill. I'm saying it's good to kill because without death, there is no life.
Wow.
I mean, how can I worship life if I don't worship death? How can I like one without the other?
One each thing.
They together. They intertwine. What's that word? Intertwine. I can't tell the word. I'm sorry. But you know what I mean. They intertwine. What's that word?
Right.
Yeah, I can't say it. You can't say it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a wine.
Yeah. I ain't that word. Yeah. So
It's not that word.
everything is the same. Right? No,
Right.
everything is. I'm her. She me.
You were talking about how Cain and Abel were not. They weren't necessarily brothers. They were species.
They was brothers because they were both made by the fallen and the filth from the heavens. See, a lot of people get heavens confused with heaven. See, heaven is a duplicate of the heavens. A lot of people don't know. They're like, God, like, this is America, and then you got the bootleg. See, heaven is the bootleg of the heavens. See, a lot of things fell from the heavens. And some things that fell from the heavens, they created other things that were traded around as gods. Right? And that happened at that time. Right? And that happened at the time for them. They was over there. A lot of people don't know. They're still looking for that place. Right? They're like, oh, what is this place? It's straight.
The Garden of Eden?
No, that's part. They know. See, certain people's name Garden of Eden. There's one creation. There's another creation somewhere else. You talking about only one creation. So I'm saying, I don't think a lot of people understand. Like,
but there's more than one Garden of Eden.
Yeah, because there's more than one God. So it got to be more than one creation. Let us make man in our image. Our. That's the key word. Our.
So do you think the Indians have their own Garden of Eden?
No, like that. It's total three. It's three everything. It's total three races, right? And out of the three races that produce everything on it, right? You got the people with the mellow, that's us. You got the Chinese. The Chinese, who was made by the Anunnakis, the race. Us, the Anunnakis. The other ones, that was made by the reptilians, which is that's why they're really smart. They made a reptilians. The Chinese made a reptilians. Nobody had small eyes. They look like that, right? They was made by reptilians. And then the other one, which is the white race, they came late in the game. Everybody know they came late in the game. They came to destroy everything. And they came looking real pale. Some of them was real cold over in Antarctica. They came over here and they was made by, Shaitan. Lucifer. That's what a lot of people know. The Nathonians, what they call them? Not Nathonian, the one that has the sex, the fallen angel, big ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm talking about?
Not the animal.
No, not the Nathonian.
What, the Palladium?
The one that was fucking the bitches. The one that was fucking the bitches. They was fucking the bitches. They weren't fucking the Watchers. The Watchers were fucking the bitches. Them babies. That's them babies. The white folks are them babies. Right? Yeah, from them fucking the bitches. They had them bastard ass kids. Well, not the giants. The giants fucking the bitches. They had
the Nephilim?
Yeah, Nephilim. Fucking the bitches. That's what's wrong. You gotta look it up.
So, the white people came from the Nephilim.
Yeah.
Black people came from the Anunnaki.
Yeah.
And the Chinese people came from the reptilian. So how do they all have African ancestors?
Listen, man. All they have, boy.
African ancestors.
Well, listen, you understand. Again. So, this is how they got ancestors, right? So, everybody like, they take over all these countries. That's what they did. They ship kids. I was like, oh, y'all understand. So, they ship kids to these villages, to these kings, and the land of Kemet and all these places they were, you know how, like, a lot of times, white kids, the white run down, they get black babies?
Yeah.
They did that back then, but with white babies. But these white babies got old. When they got old, they killed the people that they quit. And then their family came here and they took over. A lot of people know this. But yeah, see, look at it. They ship these white folks in buses, white kids in. They like where they come from. They shit, it's like how the new Jordans.
Oh,
When they first came out. So
when the white dudes first came out, like they was George.
Jordan. So everybody had to have one. So everybody had to have one. So all the kings and everybody had to have one. But it was set up the whole time. Because them the only people that can set you up. Like they set you up with the food, for gluten, you give you gas 30 years later. They've been like that. So they set their kids in order to get bigger, to reach out to them and say, no, you're not one of them, you're one of us. Let's take them.
So why do you think that it seems like that race is hell bent on destroying everything? Why does it feel like, they want to destroy the earth?
They don't destroy everything out of it. Listen, I don't think you understand.
So you don't think the earth could be destroyed?
Everything out of it. Listen,
but doesn't everything also have an end and beginning and end?
On the way the earth could be destroyed if everybody get too goddamn good. Or too goddamn bad. Right? If the earth goes too good, it's over. It's going to be a new earth. If it goes too bad, it's over. It's going to be a new earth. So it got to balance for it to stay earth. If it go either which way, it's no longer earth. What the fuck don't you get? If it leads either which way, it's no longer earth. If it leads up to the high vibration, then it's the wrong. If it leads close to the lower vibration, what the people call the church did it. The person decide. No, you don't gotta believe in Jesus is going to heaven or hell. You gotta decide you want to go.
Have you ever heard of the Fermi paradox? The Fermi paradox, where it talks about it's called the Fermi paradox, right? So if we you never heard of the Fermi paradox? Okay,
yeah, it's a fake.
I might be talking like
that's a fake shit. We doing that real shit.
Well, it's a little geeky, but if anybody gets a chance, go check out the Fermi paradox. What it is, it talks about there's different levels of evolution as a civilization, and some levels of evolution is where you have learned how to harness the energy of the sun, right? So they would have their civilization around the sun, and almost to where they're harnessing the sun's energy, using some kind of
harness the sun energy in our skin. Well, the melon.
Well, maybe
the melon do.
Yeah,
I mean that's what we do. I don't know, but
they're talking like a civilization where they had like some kind of thing.
That's why they had to listen. Everybody say they. There's a lot of people say, and I don't know if they don't think they understand, but they say that the people with all this power, they found, like old alien ships and shit, and they redirected those ships to come up with the technology. I say the opposite. They studied the melon. They studied us. They studied the pyramids. That's how they got everything.
Right.
Yeah, but
they don't have to divert the attention away from the people into the ship.
They don't tell you to study yourself.
Right.
They don't tell you everything is in your decoded in your skin. If they told you that, then you're gonna look in yourself.
Right, that would make sense. Why would you to look up the ship and not the actual person that makes the ship?
Yeah.
You would have to break down their DNA and see exactly what they were and who they could.
Listen, this how you know for a fact everybody try to save information. So like she said, the airplane was built twice at the same time. So everybody understand this, but nobody want to believe it, right? You got to understand that your thoughts are not your own. If that's right, everybody watching this, I tell you, if you're watching this, tell me this. In the next 5 minutes, what you're going to be thinking. See, nobody can tell me that. No one knows. Your thought got to get downloaded for you to know what you're going to be thinking. Or it's going to be an old. So a lot of people don't know that. So if you like 10 and you got attachments all the way to your 40 and you don't see her, you're going to play that same tape. From 10, all the way to your 40. Yeah, it's going to play. The same tape is going to play. For 30 years straight, the same tape has played. Your body got bigger. You thought you got smarter. You're the same. You still 10. A lot of people don't know.
You know what somebody actually said? I think it was Shahrazad Ali. She says a lot of women, especially black women, she says that once they turn, they don't actually mature past the age of 14 mentally.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
Just
trauma?
Yeah. Trauma. And
let's go.
How they were programmed.
Let's go.
Mentally was programmed.
Right. So trauma and how they were programmed. It's how they were programmed anyway. Yeah. So I remember I was in the car and I was complaining about something that was going on with me, and I was talking about, well, this guy and this, that, and the other, and he was like, well, why are you trying to control what he does? Why do you feel like you should have some control over what this man is doing, you know? And it's like, I don't know. It's like, because remember I made up a whole story in my mind about, well, it's easy, like, well, you're making that up. You made up this story about how you feel or how you're going to feel if he does, you know, that goes on in your mind. Right. So a lot of times we try to control other people because of our own trauma or our story that we have in our mind. Programming, our own program. We want to make everybody else follow our program, and everybody has their own program.
Yep.
You know? Okay. We were talking about how everybody has their own program. And I was talking about how, you know, relationships, right? A lot of times, like, you know, a woman will be like, well, he won't, you know, he's not gonna, and if he doesn't do this, then I'm gonna leave him, and blah, 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 blah. But why are we in a relationship with a person and want to control them? You know? You only have one life to live. Why do you want to control with someone?
Oh, we got more than one life to live. I live 5 times.
So you have more than one life to live.
Yeah, if you don't do it right. If you don't live life right, you gotta come back and do it again. But next time you might do it as a tree.
Right.
Wow. Who wants to be as a tree?
How do you?
How do you know what?
Who's gonna be as a tree? You have a program with a tree, like that's
right. A tree might be the coolest thing you could be. Just sit there chilling, ain't gotta do nothing. Right. Living thousands and thousands of years and don't gotta do nothing but just stand there and be a tree.
Yeah, everything is conscious, but conscious is different.
Everything.
Conscious is different. So a tree consciousness could be the most funnest thing ever. Imagine a tree has seen everything. Everything has touched a tree. A tree lived for thousands of years. Right? So to be a tree will be, I don't know how good that will be, how bad that will be, but I'm guaranteed you, if you keep on living this life, you're going to be a fucking tree.
Eventually.
Just hope you're not this kind, because I'm going to smoke your ass. Yeah, so yeah, hope you ain't this tree. Yeah, your life expectancy going to be short than a bitch.
What? Not that tree. Man. So, speaking of trees, you know what I'm saying? What do you think, I just got thrown off right there with that. It seemed like the camera zoomed in when he said that one. Your life expectancy will be short than a bitch.
Yeah, I'll keep going.
That was good.
Keep going, don't stop.
We were talking about so much on the way in the car here about like just how we try to control other people, you know, with our, and make up we make up a program about how we think that how other people should, you know, and I told you about the book. It was called Let Them, right? So it was a book called Let Them. A lot of times when a person does not act the way that we want them to act, you know, we feel like we have to try to set boundaries. Well, I'm gonna set my bound. Are you not doing what you aren't doing what I want you to do or whatever? And then this white lady came with a book called Let Them. If this person doesn't want to do X, Y, Z, let them. And then you said, let them. It ain't none of your business. No, she said, it ain't none of your business. She said, if a person don't want to do what they want, don't want to do X, Y, Z, it's none of your business.
Life is not made for people to intervene. That's why people don't know. Life is made for you to observe. Right? If you watch stuff, it ain't going to be what you thought it was going to be in the first place. A lot of people walk around just fucking scared for nothing. Yes. Right? Just watch it. That's what I'm talking about. Like, if you watch, like, I'm telling you something, a lot of people be in relationships, they be in certain situations, and they kind of like make certain things happen and they think about all the time.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I mean. Like, your mind will bring things in. Cause like, a lot of people don't understand that your mind is a fucking receiver. It don't give you what you want, it give you what you are. Yeah. So I don't give a fuck what you want. Your mind only gonna give you what the fuck you are. Right? Right. So, I'm gonna say what I mean. If I'm broke, but my mind gonna keep me broke. If I run around acting like I'm broke.
Right.
Stop playing with me. I don't think you understand.
You gotta think, have another frequency.
You gotta be crazy. You gotta be crazy. Listen, I don't think people understand what it takes to get rich. Right? I'm wealthy. Right? But I had to go through the storm. I had to believe I was wealthy before I had the bomb. Yeah, I had to go out and order shit that I knew I didn't have the money to get and go there to pick it up knowing I ain't got the money and watch it pop up.
Right.
I had to do shit like that. I had to walk into the darkness to come out in the light.
Mm.
Right? A lot of people don't know.
Right.
That you gotta really, the universe gonna double check and triple check that you want it. Right? Because it's not gonna give you no extra. That's why I told you I don't buy extra. Because if you need extra, then something wrong already.
Right.
Or I don't need extra. I got exactly what I need. Because what we need extra for? Because if you got extra food, all this shit is spoiled.
Mm. Yeah, it does. You can't even eat it all.
Right here, So a lot of people, they running around needing money for more. Right? Listen, if a person got one pair of clothes on and you start the day with today, you should have no problems. You got one pair of clothes on, you start the day with today, you go get some more for tomorrow.
Right.
Life is moment to moment. You can't wear all them joys at the same time, young nigga.
Right.
Why you got 30 pair? How you don't wear them at the same time? Get your 30 feet there. Then it makes sense.
Mm.
Life is moment to moment. Listen, if the monad knew you needed something more, you wouldn't came in the world naked. All he gave you was the dick and told you to use it. Come on, man.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm just saying though. You come with everything you need. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm perverted as shit, but I'm from the trenches.